much okay. That's Thursday, and because it's currently not so much happening, so I think this once a week thing is really, really okay. Um, the good thing is that not so much is happening because most of the stuff is basically done. I mean, what we could do has been prepared. We have finally a positive decision by the community to move also the proposal to create the Shimmer Treasury Grant Committee to the final phase in Firefly. So that basically means that all proposals that have been active in the governance forum in the last couple of months have been so far accepted by the community. And so they will go to the final phase of voting so that basically the community can decide with their Shimmer tokens if they want to implement this stuff. So far, I think there's not much to report. The stuff is going on with Marshall Islands, so we are already in talks with them. Basically, the lawyer that we have um, incorporated, let's say it like this, he is managing things and basically preparing stuff. This is something that we do in advance now with the hope that the community will vote in favor of the proposals. Yeah, this saves a bit time. So that's some costs that Dom is paying currently for the lawyer. So it's not something that is a bad thing. So we can save a couple of weeks of drafting documents um, in the hope that the community will vote for the grant committee. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. Yeah. What else? I can maybe give some small updates about Firefly because this is still the big blocker in the moment. So we're waiting basically until we have a version of Firefly that includes all the governance features that we like and that is releasable. Um, we have just today received the second version of the alpha with a lot of bug fixes and improvements. And I had a short test already. It looks really nice. Maybe I know it's usually only for, but maybe I can show a little bit. So for you guys that you have a little bit, for those that have not been part of the alpha tester group, you just see a little bit how the new functionality of governance works. It's a bit different than we had it in the IOTA wallet because IOTA was very, very simple and we have improved stuff a lot for Shimmer now. Maybe I'll just go through it quickly through my screen sharing. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, there. Okay, guys, do you see? You see my screen? You see Firefly?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Firefly, not much different here. I log in, and the cool thing is also this alpha version, and the next release will also have a quite big support for NFTs. So there's basically two cool new features coming out for Shimmer Firefly, which will be NFTs and the governance functionality. And so you see, we have here on the side the governance stuff, and there are still some little bugs, like I said, like this color here is not matching and things like this. So there's still stuff to do, but I think we had the major bug that was caused by Wallet RS is fixed and was fixed in this version, and so we are just currently testing that everything works as intended. Um, the the cool new feature for voting in Shimmer Firefly now is basically that we have the opportunity to add custom proposals. Before it was always like this that you could in IOTA before all proposals, all votes needed to be hard coded into Firefly. So for every new vote that we had to make a new release of Firefly where the Firefly team basically coded the front end with the vote and the question and the answer, um, always for every vote. And that's, of course, not a feasible solution, especially if we're going to have a couple of more votes. And it's also a totally centralized thing because it only depended on if the IOTA Foundation or the Firefly team um, was doing this for the community. And what we have now is basically the option of having custom proposals. So you have here a little thing, you can add a proposal. And so basically everybody in the community can create a proposal for a vote, can upload this proposal to his or her own Hornet node. And once this proposal is available in one node, the whole network basically can vote on it as long as people connect to the correct vote, to the correct node. Yeah. So let's say there's a community out there, and this community wants to ask all Shimmer token holders about their opinion. Should they, I don't know, release a new NFT collection or not? Whatever. So you can make a proposal. Should we release the new NFT collection? Shalala. You upload this proposal to your node, and then you basically communicate this, and you say, okay, everybody in the Shimmer ecosystem, if you own Shimmer tokens and you want to participate in this decision, here is the event ID of this proposal. This is a unique hash of the whole proposal. It's a unique number that you get when you create a proposal. So you put in the event ID, and then you put in the node URL of this community node. Yeah? So it's not going to be the default IOTA Foundation node, but so if you have a node running in DLT Green or in Spice 5, or you have your own Hornet node at home, you usually have an URL for that. And so you can use this node, tell this to everybody else. And so the people connect to this node, and then they can vote on your proposal. Still, the votes or the proposals that go through the official governance process through the forum, so that basically the things that we together have worked on over the last 8-10 months. So once things go through phase 1 and phase 2 in the governance forum, the IOTA Foundation will upload those proposals to the default node in Firefly, to the default nodes that Firefly is always connected to. And so basically when you open your Firefly wallet as a normal user and there is an official vote that followed the governance process, this official vote will automatically show up in your governance tab, like this here. If you want to vote, what you need to do now is basically you need to decide how much voting power you want to use for voting on proposals. So you have an amount of Shimmer tokens. So here in this wallet, that's of course testnet, I have 537 Shimmer tokens in total. And I have currently decided to use 388 of those Shimmer tokens to vote on governance proposals. And so the other 130 or 140 I can use. And the good thing is this is really easy and flexible to handle. So currently I'm voting on 3 proposals. You see it here. So there are totally 8 proposals known to my Firefly wallet. One of this is active, and 3. This is still a little bug because the text needs to be changed. So currently I'm voting on 1. Yeah. And I'm voting on 1 with 388 Shimmer tokens. If I want to use more Shimmer tokens, pretty easy. I just use the slider. I increase it to my full amount. I confirm that. And now there in the background, a little transaction is, or basically 2 transactions are actually happening. One is shortly stopping my vote, and the other one is actually doing a new vote with the new amount of Shimmer tokens that I have now decided. Might be a little bit issue with the connectivity in a moment, but yeah, so that's the thing. Maybe I'll go to my other profile. Maybe it works a little bit better there. So like I said, there's still some little hiccups, especially with thinking and making the thing a little bit faster and easier handleable. But here the same. Currently, okay, there is no proposal yet, but if I want to decide how much tokens I use, I just use the slider here and can decide, okay, I'm using 35 Shimmer tokens. Yeah. And then I have decided this, and then when I vote on a proposal, it will always use these same amount of tokens. Yeah, so there's some cool new features there, especially basically that you can upload the proposals, that it's not depending on IOTA Foundation anymore independently, yeah, to get governance proposals forward to the community. Okay, yeah, there's still some little buggy bugs there. Yeah. Any questions? Okay.
Philo, in the where we put the event ID and the URL number,
Yeah.
and I think I've seen him coding it, though I didn't see any sort of test for it yet. Is there a deep link option where, let's say, someone creates
Yes.
their vote, they put the deep link out? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe that'd be cool if someone
It
creates the
was
deep link to test it.
Yeah, it was already in the first alpha. We had a deep link. So Nicole did in the first link or in the first post, there was a deep link. So if you clicked on this deep link, it
Okay,
actually added the proposal to your Firefly wallet. Um,
okay.
it didn't really, I think it only worked when your Firefly was already open. But yes,
Mm,
that's basically how also the plan is. I created an
mhm.
issue also for that so that we really can very likely
Make it
put
simple.
yeah, we can put these deep links then in the governance forum. We can share this
Hmm.
over Twitter. We can put it in the blog post. So basically, people read, oh, there's a vote. Click on the deep link.
Hmm.
Firefly opens, and then this event or this proposal is already implemented. I mean, that's again
Nice.
something, like I said, for the official things, people don't have to care about anything. Yeah, so they basically, as soon as these proposals are uploaded to the IOTA Foundation nodes, people open their Firefly wallet
Oh,
and then they go to the
got it.
governance tab and the proposals are already there. Just the custom
Okay.
proposals with a different node, they can then be used by deep link. But like I said, it's not something that's going to be used super often in the beginning, I think, until the
Hmm.
community
Hmm.
comes up with more stuff. But yeah, that it should all work with deep links. It should also work um, directly. So, okay, here, click on this link to vote on this proposal. Maybe you have 3 or 4 proposals in your node, and there is a link, and everybody says, okay, hey, people, come on, vote on this proposal. You just click on the deep link, and Firefly opens in the correct proposal, and you can vote.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the
Nice.
plan. Yeah, so currently
Nice.
the most important thing is that we do really a lot of testing now, because there have been some pretty big changes in Wallet IS. So we also really have to test through every little functionality. So NFTs, native assets creation, minting, all kind of stuff, storage deposit, sending back and forth, and all the things. We really have to test this whole version thoroughly, and I think, well, this will take us another week or something. And then we'll see if we can get ready for a beta release where we have the bigger beta group testing everything. Yeah, then things should get interesting. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know. That's from my side actually everything that I have for today. Of course, there's a lot of topics swirling around in my head for the future after the Treasury is established and we come to having smart contracts and stuff like this. So there's going to be some interesting things happening in governance once we are able to use also smart contracts. I'm really looking forward. There's going to be a lot of cool tech that we can develop together and think about cool new features and functionalities. Yeah, but that's a little bit, yeah, in the spring, I would say. Yeah. Good. What else? Anybody
Is
got any ideas, questions, topics to talk about?
is there any or should it wait till the spring, kind of like you're saying, like to talk about the because we had that initial governance framework in phase one.
Mhm.
Didn't know if there was a plan to kind of keep working that and evolving that, or is it
Abs-
better
uh,
to wait till
no,
sort of
absolute.
EVM and all that stuff?
I mean, absolute. I mean, generally, the governance framework will always be the basic of what we are doing. Um, as soon as we have potential for new features, we can of course add stuff or change stuff if we see okay makes
Hmm.
more sense to do that. But the governance framework is always for me it's always kind of a living document. Yeah, so that's the cool thing also
Yeah.
that we gave the moderators of the forum this opportunity to adjust
Hmm.
stuff. Yeah. Let's see
Hmm.
once we get a little bit activity around proposals and voting, um, how this the framework basically behaves in a more testy and a more used environment. And once we have the opportunity for new features, we can just basically adjust the governance framework, have the community vote on major changes if it makes sense then, and yeah, and always basically improve and work around this document and these procedures that we have developed there.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
that would be the plan. Goody good. Yeah. What else? I cannot say anything about when we will be able to vote. It really depends on the Firefly testing now. If any one of you is not yet in the, but I think all of you are in the alpha tester group, huh? If not, again, if somebody wants to get their hands dirty by testing the alpha version, and important is also that not just testing, but also reporting it in GitHub, so that the team basically has a good documentation of what goes wrong. Do some screenshots, or I usually do a video recording when I have Firefly going on and test stuff. So yeah, that's the thing that is super important over the next days, so we have enough clearance that stuff works or stuff not works, and they can fix the little issues and come to a working solution for this whole thing. Yeah. What else? Like I said, I have not much more today. Is anything else happening in governance? I mean, we had the thing with the validator selection for the MPC stuff that seems also have found a lot of interest in the community, and I think the selection thing is done now. So I'm interested to see basically how this whole thing lifts off once we have the EVM testnet. I think will be interesting to see the testing phase and how everything evolves around that stuff. Yeah, but I think in the moment we are all in the position of waiting for Firefly, waiting for EVM, and then it's gonna get really interesting. Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, yeah, that's. I mean, we all you see we make progress. I mean, Dave shared some info on Twitter, so EVM is also getting super close now. Yeah, everything comes together slowly. Yeah.
Yes.
Good, good. So basically, I think if we don't have any other topics to talk about in the moment, we might be able to wrap it up a little bit earlier. This means for me, I get a little bit earlier into my bed. And for you guys, you can enjoy the kind of winter day wherever you are. And we'll see you next Thursday again. I think we will have then quite some nice updates around Firefly. Hope we're going to have found the last bugs and fixed the last little issues. And yeah, any updates or any topics around that, always welcome. Share it in the channel. We can discuss it. Until then, have a good day, have a good evening, have a good night. And see you again on Thursday, yeah?
I see you.
See you.
Okay,
Good day.
See you.
bye bye.